Our first speaker for today is, I am sure all of you are waiting to listen to all the keynote sessions. I will not take much of your time, but it will not make justice if I don't introduce all the speakers. Our speaker, I think we have Dr. Jere with us. Hello, sir. Good
Hello,
afternoon.
can you hear me?
Yes, you are out there in the environment.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Introducing Dr. Abhay Jere. Dr. Abhay Jere is the Chief Innovation Officer for Ministry of Education, Government of India. Sir is a PhD from NARI, Pune University. Sir has almost been 25 years in the field. He is the brain and driving force behind Annual Initiative, world's biggest active and largest open innovation model. His efforts have been recognized by Shri Narendra Modi ji. He was also under Dr. Jere's leadership. He was applauded for his initiatives and even proposed an India-Singapore joint hackathon in 2019, which was even executed by Dr. Jere. Dr. Jere conceptualized institutions, innovation councils. Currently, ILC has been established in more than 2,500 institutions involving 26 plus lakh students and faculty and professions. Dr. Jere has published more than 20 research papers in very prestigious international journals and contributed to multiple books, chapters. He has also guided students for their thesis. Dr. Jere has won a lot of awards that includes Digital Thought Leadership Award, World Assessment Council, Boston, USA Distinguished Alumni Award by ICT, and Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee Award. I take this opportunity and it's been an honor to have you, sir. A very, very warm welcome to the keynote session of EnviroCare Green Awards 2022. Over to you.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. So first, I would really like to thank the entire EnviroCare team for inviting me, giving me this opportunity. First, Nilesh, really thanks for inviting me. The job which you people are doing is simply phenomenal. The kind of awareness you are creating within the society about environment, and these awards are the true reflection of that. And I really hope, as you said earlier, that this award is there for next 100 years, and you will get more and more success stories, case studies to show, not only at the national level, but at the best of the global forums. So, as you are aware, I work with Ministry of Education, Government of India as Chief Innovation Officer. And Modi ji, as our Honorable Prime Minister, when he speaks to us internally also, in a lot of our meetings, he talks about sustainability, he talks about climate change, he talks about global warming. And if you see in all our initiatives which we do, sustainability is one of the inbuilt component. And we are working quite aggressively to sensitize not just our current folks, but the younger generations towards this, towards global warming, towards climate change, through a lot of curricular exercises. As Chief Innovation Officer, I take care of innovation in higher education sectors, higher education institutions, as well as school education institutions. And we do multiple programs to promote innovation, to promote ideation, to promote entrepreneurship. And I will tell you, one of the key components when we are evaluating innovations, when we are evaluating good ideas, is sustainability. Even if your idea is really good, and if it is not sustainable, if it is not environment friendly, then many times we don't fund such ideas also nowadays. So this is extremely critical factor for us. More importantly, when we are working on promoting innovation, entrepreneurship, as I said, through Ministry of Education, we are doing multiple concrete steps. We are taking multiple concrete steps. For example, and I will share with you 2 or 3 initiatives which you will be really happy to know as what we are doing, so that you will think that yes, some changes have really started happening. As you are aware, 2 years back, Government of India launched a new education policy 2020. And as part of new education policy, we are actually doing multiple initiatives. And many of these initiatives are groundbreaking initiatives. And some of the initiatives are even first time in the world kind of an initiative. For example, I think you will be very happy to know that from this year, we have introduced design thinking as one of the key electives in 6th standard, currently for the CBSE schools. And when we are talking about design thinking, when we are talking about ideation, where we are pushing students in that direction. But if you look at all the activities which we have given in that textbook, have a huge sustainability component inbuilt within them. India is the first country in the world to actually introduce design thinking as key subject at 6th standard. No other country is doing that. And if you go to CBSE website currently, under skill section, you will see the textbooks of design thinking. You know, I don't know, some of you are aware, maybe certainly aware about what design thinking is. Some of you might not aware, and some of you might get confused by when we are talking about design thinking. You may think that it has something to product engineering, on product design, and so on and so forth. So design thinking is how to think, how to innovate, how to identify a problem, what should be thought process in visualizing a solution. Because what happens, as you are aware currently, due to our rote learning mechanism or our academics, which is currently it's more of a swallow and vomit kind of an education system, the creativity aspect is missing to a large extent. Students are not given enough opportunity to develop their creativity. And if some of them even have that creativity aspect inbuilt within them, there are no avenues within the educational system to actually nurture that creativity in a far more systematic way. So we felt that this needs to change. And as Modi ji has already said multiple times, that we have to build a generation of job creators rather than job seekers. We believe that the entrepreneurial attitude, ideation, what we can say, another initiative which we will be announcing soon on second anniversary of NEP, National Education Policy, that is on 29th of this month, July, is National Innovation and Entrepreneurship Promotion Policy for schools. As you are aware, that if you have to promote innovation and entrepreneurship within schools, there has to be very, very clear-cut policy guidelines. And we decided that we should again come up with a very clear guiding document, guiding framework for all our schools. And that framework will be released next week, that is on 29th of July. The earlier version of this framework was already in public domain, and we received more than 2,500 suggestions from various stakeholders across the country. We were really overwhelmed by some of the suggestions. We have worked on those guidelines. We have incorporated those suggestions. And again, I am very happy to share with you that India is going to be the first country to have a very dedicated policy towards innovation and entrepreneurship promotion for schools. Why this policy is going to require is because large number of schools are confused, or large number of educational institutes are confused related to IP sharing, IP management, equity sharing, revenue sharing, how to handhold an idea at pre-incubation level, incubation level, how to connect with ecosystems, how to manage funds related to innovation. If you have to do startups, what should be the norms? If teacher has to do startup, what kind of, how he or she can contribute, what kind of positions they can take, how much time they can dedicate, what kind of positions within the company they can, or what kind of role they can play. So if students and teachers are going to start their entrepreneurship or do their startup, what should be the modalities? How Startup India program can support the startup. So this is something, again, extremely revolutionary. And we worked on this policy for more than a year. And now it has fructified. Yesterday only, Honorable our Shiksha Mantri, Sri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, actually took the review of the policy status. And when he saw the document, he said he was quite happy. And we hope that currently internal consultations within the ministry are going on. And on 29, we will able to actually release the new policy so that we can give huge impetus. Because when you have a policy document, when you have very clear-cut guidelines for schools, then it's easy for them to adopt it and move forward in that direction. So that is another revolutionary step which we have taken. Then another key initiative, again, first of its kind in the world, is School Innovation Councils. And we have launched them on 1st of July. And I'm very, very happy to share with you that more than 3,000 schools have come forward to actually establish these councils. We have 1.5 million schools, so it's a long way to go. But I believe that in next 1.5 years, we will able to actually at least have these innovation councils in 25,000 good schools across the country. So why we are having these councils is because we want to handhold schools, we want to handhold educational institutes to establish a sustainable ecosystem, innovation ecosystem. They should come up with ideas which are in sync with 17 SDG goals. They should come up with ideas which will offer innovative solutions for some of the daunting problems which are faced by humanity, without actually losing the sight, as I said, for environment, without actually losing the sight towards ensuring that the solutions which are developed don't contribute to global warming, or they are carbon neutral in a sense. So multiple initiatives in schools we are taking, our school system, and you will see in next couple of years real good transformation happening in school ecosystems across the country. When it comes to higher education, again, we have similar initiatives, and the policy which we are launching for school was actually based on our policy which we launched for higher education in 2019, which we call National Innovation and Startup Policy for faculty and students of higher educational institutes. Till date, more than 3,500 institutions have adopted that policy. And as a result, we have more than 5,000 student and faculty-led startups in our country. You know, various technical institutions and even some of the non-technical, prestigious non-technical institutions have established innovation councils based on our recommendations. And I will tell you, for last 3 years, we are hand-holding these institutions in a very systematic fashion. And I'm very happy to share with you all that till date, more than 80,000, please understand, till date, more than 80,000 programs, events, initiatives have happened through these innovation councils in area of innovation, entrepreneurship, startup related activities. Last year, we had National Innovation Contest. For last 3 years also, we are having national. For last year, National Innovation Contest, when we did, we received more than 29,000 ideas. But I will tell you, unfortunately, when we look at some of these ideas, they are still very nascent. They are still very crude. They are still very, very shabby in some of the cases. They are not great in a sense. So when we started looking at all these 29,000 ideas, and I don't know, so you must be also facing the same issue when we are looking at this EnviroCare Award. The concepts are good, but the products and designs which are developed are pretty bad, And when we actually started filtering these 29,000 ideas, we could only identify 63 ideas whom we can fund. I have funding for 100 ideas. I can fund each idea up to 10 lakh rupees. So I have 10 crores, which I can use for funding startups. But after even starting with 29,000 concepts and ideas, I couldn't find 100 ideas to fund. And this is the place, or this is the problem which we really need to work on. It's easy to create infrastructure. It is easy to build incubators. But we don't have good pipeline of ideas because that mindset is not there. And many times I attend many of these kind of programs, where I am jury or I am chief guest for such kind of awards. And I see a lot of bad ideas actually getting awards. I'm not saying about environmental, our award, that there are bad ideas because I have not seen them. So it will be very unfair on my part to actually comment on it. I will give you an example. So just before COVID, I was in IIT Madras, actually as a chief guest for their award. Again, it was organized by Environment Department there. And the team had won the award where they had created one system, one box, which you can put on your car, and actually it gives you a real-time information. Sorry. So I was talking about the award part. So after the award, we had high tea. And when we were actually discussing, that team came to me and said to me, sir, you are in Delhi, and Delhi is one of the most polluted places in the country. We would like to present this prototype to you, and we would like to request you that you should put on your car and use it and test it for us. So I looked at that prototype more carefully, and it was really very shabby. So I asked that how many, it was a 6-member team. So I asked that how many of you have put this prototype on your car? And out of 6, only 2 students had done that. So I asked that if you are not ready to use your own prototype, why you expect me to use your prototype and put it on my car? And that is the problem. The reason is, the idea may be great, but the packaging of the idea, the design of product, ergonomics, material, which are not great. They're extremely poor. Wires hanging here and there, big screws going here. Why somebody will pay for such a product? And we really need to take care of that. So when you people are also judging awards, when you people are also talking to innovators, encouraging mentors, ask them to focus heavily upon these aspects. Product engineering, product design, very, very critical. If you see products which are coming from China, they look very cute and sexy. They may work, they may not work. We also know that. But none of our products look cute. Why? We have to ask that question. Are we not investing enough in designing aspect? If not, we should do that. We should encourage a product which is very holistic. The technology has to be top-notch. The idea has to be innovative. And the design has to be really futuristic. Then only that idea is really going to be sustainable in market. Many times what happens? Students or youngsters get awards. They feel that their idea is billion-dollar idea because a lot of people clap because we have so many awards nowadays. I am being please don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to be harsh here. I'm just being very honest here. And students feel that now for next 10 years, or these youngsters who are naive, young, impressionable minds, they feel now that they are going to work on these ideas for next 5-10 years and really become unicorns. Sometimes they don't understand that it's even good to fail. It's failure. Many times people don't adopt fail early, fail fast philosophy. When you have worked on your product, when you have won, you have gained experience. Now, sit back and analyze very critically that what you should do to make this product really sustainable, really marketable. And if you cannot do, if you feel that there are problems associated with it, you abandon idea and move on and work on new idea. So these are some of the extremely important things which our innovators need to learn. And if you really look at Israeli ecosystem, they have actually mastered it. They know how to analyze an idea very efficiently. They know which ideas will work, which ideas will not work, which ideas may be ahead of time. And they drop those ideas. But when they are dropping it, they don't consider it as their own failure. They wear that as a badge of honor many times. And when they start working on new idea, they have learned from their earlier mistakes. They have matured from their earlier lacunae or earlier pitfalls which were associated. And many times you will see investors actually betting on people, on ideas which have 1 or 2 failures below their belt. Because they believe that they have learned a lot. They understand what they are doing. So here also, I will write to request the entire team or EnviroCare to guide students, guide youngsters, guide professionals who are your award winners in the right direction. You will be certainly doing it. You can be blunt to them if some of the ideas are not good. That boss, छोड़ दो ये, दूसरी चीज पे किसी पे काम करो. Yeah, you can actually have some other people to actually work on that idea, or someone else can run with that idea. Because what I have also seen in last 4 or 5 years when I travel across the country and attend many of these award ceremonies, that many times we try to convert an innovator into an entrepreneur. But both the mindsets are completely different. When person is innovating, or when he has that innovative mindset, he is thinking of doing something new. He is creative. But when you are talking about entrepreneurship, वो तो धंधा चलाना है ना, वो तो उसमें सेल्स है, उसमें मार्केटिंग है, उसमें वो माइंडसेट चाहिए, धंधे वाला माइंडसेट चाहिए. एंड बहुत बार इनोवेटर्स में वो माइंडसेट नहीं होता. So we also need to guide innovators in right way. And if that innovator is really not capable of, we should ask that person to actually go ahead, give that idea to someone else, and someone else can run with that idea. And yes, appropriate royalty sharing, revenue sharing, and those kind of things could be certainly happen. I will give you a good example right now. Last year, we did Toycathon. Again, because as you will be aware, that India used to export large number of toys, import large number of toys. Our market was around $150 billion market, toy market, Indian toy market. And we used to import 85% or more. And majority of that import was from one specific country. So, as part of Atmanirbhar Bharat mission, Prime Minister asked us to actually explore whether we can generate new ideas based on Indian ethos, based on Indian civilization. We did this Toycathon. We had about 116 winners after screening 20,000 plus ideas. And then eventually we had these 116 people actually present their ideas to toy manufacturers. We had companies like Hamlet and Fun Schools and those kind of things. And I'm very happy to share with you that 3 days back, our first tech transfer happened between a 7th standard girl, 7th or 8th standard girl, she is there, with Fun School. She has transferred the idea to Fun School. They have signed MOU. They have signed revenue sharing agreement. You know, she said, I will work more on ideas. And Fun School said, okay, you work, you come with ideas. We will give you 5% royalty and we will take your ideas forward. So we can come up with similar mechanisms even for our own innovators, so that innovators can innovate more and more and their products could be taken to market very successfully. I hope I was successful in able to communicating my real feelings when we are looking at all these awards. All this, it was not at all a criticism towards the systems which we have. Please understand that, because these systems, these awards are really very, very critical for building the ecosystem, for building the culture in this country. You know, so what you people are doing are really very phenomenal. But now we have to move even beyond these awards. I will request you to mentor these winners more effectively, so that we will have some real good startups and enterprises coming out of it. I hope I am that you will certainly work on these suggestions. I will be more than happy to interact with you from time to time. If I can support you in any fashion, we can together build roadmaps. We can together build what we can say, what should do's and don'ts or mechanisms to support some of these innovators. I really wish you great luck. And as I said earlier, that I really hope and pray that your award is there for next 100 years. Its standard goes up every year, and you will able to contribute enormously towards global warming, climate change, creating awareness in these sectors across the country. So thanks for inviting me, giving me this opportunity to interact with you. I really wish you all great luck. Thank you. Jai Hind.
First, thank you very, very much for accepting our invite to be the keynote session. I am totally aware of your schedule, the schedule that you have. You have a meeting right after this session. You were in a meeting right before this session. But thank you for accepting our invite and for such a thought-provoking session. Also very happy to note that our education policy is actually working towards sustainability. And if you ask me in terms of our applicants, we have also received very interesting applicants from academia. They're working towards sustainability. In the 46 applicants, we have 4 applicants from academia, that is MIT, ADT University, VM Sargaonkar, Bhaskaracharya College, Tanzania Public School from Africa. So these are the applicants in the academic criteria.
I just forgot to mention one thing. Can I add for 30 seconds if allowed?
All 30 seconds. Stage is all yours.
Yeah. The reason I wanted to add, because you reminded me of this thing. I want to inform all your viewers here that recently we have launched Onion Grand Challenge. You know. Because India loses 11,000 crores annually because of onion shortage and onion wastage. So sometime we have some part of the year we have onion shortage and prices skyrocket, and sometimes we have so much onion that it gets wasted, and because of that we lose 11,000 crores. So Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Government of India has launched that challenge. I'm actually driving that challenge. This is very important challenge for the country because we have to save that money as part of Atmanirbhar Bharat mission. And I will request all your viewers to go and check this Onion challenge and register, and if possible, give us some great ideas for it.